Hello everybody, welcome back. So a quick look, alright, because I'm very tired, been up all night, so I'm just going to make this nice and quick. So, basically, at this very moment in time, it looks as though we're breaking down, okay? So breaking down at this level, at this point, we've already come down, well, let's measure this out from the top to the price action at right now. That's bigger than I thought, actually, almost 5% from that moment there. From the right to the bottom, it's almost 10%. So it's actually quite significant. It's a decent trading range, actually, in all fairness, for Bitcoin. Obviously, other assets will be even more than that. We're talking about XRP from the top to the price action where we are right now. That's almost 9%, all the way down to there, a 17%. And Ethereum 2.0. Ethereum 0.1. It's going down. I think it's all going down. Basically, I'm not, I'm not snubbing any projects or anything. I'm just talking about the price. That's all I'm talking about. So, on the very short term, this is the hourly time frame. We were all sort of getting a bit overexcited on the Telegram earlier. We failed to recognise the bearish divergence taking place on the hourly, which basically led to this fall here. I don't know if there's going to be much more take place in this drop tonight. But if you remember my video from last night where I was saying that we are looking for a consolidation, that consolidation looks a little bit like this. So this is the end of the bear market into the bull market to the peak of last year. We take those candle bodies, we bring it to the top, and we pretty much have something very similar as far as the size of that move is concerned. Accumulation, bull top, and now what we're looking to see is consolidation, which is fine. So if we do that to probably, we'll just say here, because this looked as the area of reaccumulation. We were pumping here, the calamity happened, the black swan event took place, but really this is the kind of thing that I'm looking for without that kind of time frame. I'm looking for this kind of drop without that kind of time frame, and if we measure that top to basically the bottom here, we're looking for what could be, from the top. So we've obviously gone down 5%, so we're looking for just around about a 30% move down in this consolidation. Now it doesn't mean it has to happen, nothing has to happen, but it's very likely that that's the scenario that's going to unfold over the coming weeks to maybe a couple of months. And there's nothing wrong with that, because what will happen is that will reaccumulate at that level, which is roughly around between 13 and 14,000, and that will become the next bottom where we will launch from. And that's fine, because if we launch from there, and we're talking about Bitcoin here, okay, so by the end of that bull run, we think that we could say that from that level we're looking to maybe do a 5x from that level. All right, so that would be bringing us quite high. But I don't know about absolute top targets for the bull run of next year. Anything is possible. There's been a hell of a lot of interest in Bitcoin recently. It's more accessible to more people. It's only going to get more like that. So there will be more money flowing into it. So yeah, we could be talking 5x. We could be talking 10x. And if a 10x from that bottom level there, from that would be the bottom. If we did a 10x from there, we will be looking at about 130 to 140 grand per Bitcoin maximum target. Now if we look at how this has performed recently, from this bottom to this top, we reached a 338% move. Okay, so a 338% move is in the middle, or should I say not even the middle, the start of the bull run, is probably a smaller amount than what we're expected to see after this next accumulation phase, and then the blow off top moment at the end of the cycle. So that's 3.5%. Sorry, a 3.5x. Sorry, very tired. And then we'll be looking to do at least that again next year from that bottom level. So it'll be a 3x from around about 14,000. We're talking about 45 grand, 50, 60 grand, 70 grand. I think the areas of 100 grand per Bitcoin aren't unlikely at this point when we think about how this chart is going to form over time, given previous market history. The moves that are likely to take place could be that big. But for the moment, we are going to consolidate. We have to. That's fine. Just allow it. Just submit yourself to the fact that it's going to happen. These moon boys are doing my head in. I'm not bearish. All right, I'm not a bear. I've seen Bitcoin, I've seen other assets, I've seen cryptocurrency in general many times unfold, and just because it's Bitcoin, some people just think that it's destined for the stars immediately. That's not going to happen. It has to retrace, it has to consolidate, it has to reaccumulate, develop a new base, and then launch from there. Next year's the big year. This year was a steady away year. It was always going to be that way. Next year's the explosive year. If you're going to have an explosive year, you don't want to peak too early. You don't want to consolidate for much more than what we need to, and we're going to have to consolidate at some point. So anyway, back to the hourly chart. In the very short term, this is what we're looking for. We've found there's basically a descending trend line here of resistance on an hourly chart. This isn't very old at all. To trade this, which I'm going to try and do until I fall asleep, I'll be looking for a break out of here, for a move up to probably surpass the all-time highs of this last week. Breaking down below this area here, this blue box, which is the bottom level, is 18,500, and yes, we did have a week down there, but the candle bodies aren't closing down there yet. So this is a decent area that could be reaccumulating already. But because we've got this, I suppose you can call it a time limit to reaccumulate here, it needs to be done, to be honest with you, pretty soon. Because if it doesn't break out of this pattern to the up in the next, this is going to be the next 4 or 5 hours, then it will push us down below this level and we'll have the breakdown. So, and this is just for the short-term move. This is just for the next big one, all right? So, and big one being maybe 4 or 5%. So we could go all the way back up. We could go 4 or 5% down. And if we did go down, it would be down to this level here, this blue box zone. From the price that we are at right now, all the way down to there, that's actually quite significant. We're talking 12%. That's fine. Alright, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. I don't think we're looking for a move all the way down there quite yet. There's probably going to be some more steps along the way, and in order to find those steps, we're going to look at the moving averages on some of these other time frames. So first of all, just below the blue box, we do have the 10 exponential moving average around about 18,300. Below that, we've got the center of the Bollinger Band at around 17,800, and then below there, then we would be talking about this box. But for the moment, it's all okay. I think the move has been played out, and we might actually have a little pump before we have another dump. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Like I say, I'm very tired. Oh, on one other thing actually, just out of pure interest, longs have decreased again. This is the sort of area that the longs had decreased to before we had that significant drop a few days back. The weekend, they were dropping down to this kind of level. Sounds as though in many ways the bears and the bulls and the bears are operating on not an even playing field, but their positions are getting closer and closer and closer together. And when that kind of happens, it evens the playing field out, which basically can lead to a boring range for a little while, because they're just getting one over on each other little by little by little by little. But I think because to me it looks as though we've topped out. This battleground that they'll be fighting is what will lead to the consolidation, and the bears will eventually get the upper hand, driving the price down to a comfortable level of around about $13,000 to $14,000 over the next few weeks to months. So it might appear quite boring. I'm not looking for massive dumps at all. I'm looking for a boring incremental step down consolidation over a period of weeks to bring us down to this red zone here, which is upwards facing ever so slightly, but it's roughly around $13,000, roughly just above, and that is the way I'm seeing it. I'm not going to get too overexcited with any dumps, nor will I get too excited with too many pumps. Consolidation is on the cards in my opinion, and we just got to let it ride out. The best way to play this, for me personally, is to not try and catch every little move. It's to wait for the big ones, buy them, sell them, buy them, sell them, and not try and catch every little tiny piece of move that takes place. And then the ultimate thing will be if we did consolidate down to this level, this would be the buy zone, the ultimate buy zone. This is a buy zone. This is obviously a buy zone. They're all buy zones, but depending on the strength of the market, the size of the longs versus the shorts, and the state of the Dixie, so the dollar might bounce, which will be bad for Bitcoin. There's a lot of things that can happen over the next few weeks and months. So for the moment, let's just try and keep our heads screwed on. I'm not a bull, I'm not a bear, but I do expect there to be a consolidation. So that makes me a short-term bear, but a long-term bull. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.